Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I owe it all to you. Even those of you who criticized me, you brought out the best in me. Because through your criticism, I learned a lot. And I was able to deliver to the best of my abilities after 30 years. I want to say a special thank you to the residents of the Cottage constituency for having tolerated me for 30 years and more. But more importantly, I want to say thank you to the residents of Lagon in particular, because Lagon and Portsmouth share a very common history, a common culture, a common expectation. And we have solidified the Cottage constituency to the extent that nobody dare run against us in the Cottage constituency. And that is why on November 18th, there was a no contest, brothers and sisters. And they thought about it. There are about 4 or 5 names who talk about running independent. But once we launch our candidate, they disappeared in thin air, brothers and sisters. Once the labor train came down, they all disappeared, brothers and sisters. That is the legacy of the Cottage constituency that we have created. And we have given you a young man, a professional man, a top public officer, who I have said many times will give you much greater representation than I have given you over the last 30 years, brothers and sisters. And you wonder why I'm so young and I'm leaving. But in politics, you'll have to know when to hang up your gloves, brothers and sisters. It's like a good farmer. When you have your tree, you need to know when to prune the tree so it will make new shoots and new branches and new fruits, brothers and sisters. And so, it was time to prune the tree of the Cottage constituency. And out of that tree came a branch, a new fruit that the Cottage constituency will continue to enjoy for a very long time. Brothers and sisters, I cannot stand here on this platform if I do not give thanks to the outgoing Parrep for Portsmouth for the tremendous job that he has done in keeping the spirit of labor alive in the tongue of Portsmouth. Labor Party shall not be moved. And you can say what you want about Ian Douglas, but Ian Douglas has proven to be one of the most dynamic politicians in Dominican politics today, brothers and sisters. But what I remember Ian Douglas for is during COVID-19, Ian Douglas and his team saved hundreds of lives in this country. Because had it not been for the COVID hospital built by Ian and the boys of Portsmouth, many of us would have not survived COVID-19. And that is why Haïtien me dit dans les blancs. Et va ou pas ça dit, Ian pas fait ça été payé pour Guantas. Et tout ça, il pas ça faire. But Ian gave the tongue of Portsmouth positive representation at every level, brothers and sisters. But there is a saying that goes, a king is never honored in his own country. And that is a saying that we'll continue to hear as long as we live. But as long as your conscience is clear, you will admit that Ian has made his contribution and is passing the baton on to a very powerful young lady, Finella Wenham. Brothers and sisters, what will separate us from them is our dynamic leadership. The leadership that we have given this country from 2000 when we got into government. Rosie Douglas was a formidable leader, but as fate would have it, he did not survive that long. Pierre Charles was a formidable leader, but as fate would have it, he succumbed very early. May his soul rest in peace. And they gave us a little master that many of us here as Labour doubted his ability to move the country forward. And today, I can say to you, and you will attest, that Roosevelt Skerrit has been one of the most formidable leaders this country has ever seen, brothers and sisters.
Labour Party shall not be moved.
And he has indicated that he has left time less in politics than what he ever had of him. I cannot see a Dominica without Roosevelt Skerrit. The contribution that he has made to our young people, to our senior citizens, to the country, we will miss Roosevelt Skerrit whenever he decides he's leaving. And so this election is for and about Roosevelt Skerrit. If that is a farewell election, then let us give him the biggest farewell that he would have ever received in his lifetime. The biggest gift that he would have received in his lifetime. Because Roosevelt Skerrit has taken this country from the bottom to the very top in the region and in the world by extension. Brothers and sisters, Roosevelt Skerrit, and we're going to talk. I don't want to talk about the opposition because we don't know what that is. Because at a time when this country needs all the help it can get, they have decided to stay away from this election. But the trick is that while they stay away as United Workers' Party, they have sent a bunch of workers to run independent in certain constituencies. Tonight, when I left the East, there was Thompson Fontaine, there was Frio Coffee, there was Sikiri supporting the independent candidate. Ladies and gentlemen, let us not take this election for granted. Let us not make joke with this election, because this election will decide whether Dominica swim or whether Dominica sink, brothers and sisters. The programs that we have in place for the development of this country can only be delivered by Roosevelt Skerrit and the Dominica Labour Party.
It's my PM family. Labour's still the best choice. Fucking make your noise. Choice. Free one till you lose your voice. Labour's still the best choice. Or actually get a voice. Labour's still the best choice. But yeah, give me Labour every day.
And you here in Portsmouth has sacrificed for too long. Have sacrificed for 50 years, waiting for this opportunity for you to shine. And now your light is coming. You cannot miss that opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. You, the people of Portsmouth, have made a solid contribution to the development of Dominica. And you have been asking, when is your turn? I want to say to you that your turn is now. Your turn has come, and you must do everything to embrace it, brothers and sisters. And you can only embrace it by giving your full support to Fenella Wenham. And let me tell you something about that. The Labour Party have the full confidence in our young people. Last election, when Roosevelt Skerrit changed about 8 candidates, we were worried. And these candidates have been proven to be some of the most dynamic candidates in the country. Our young people, we have trained them. We send them to school. We educate them. We gave them jobs, preparing them for the future. The future is here, brothers and sisters. 23 years, 30 years, 35 years. We have trained our people, and our people have reported for duty, brothers and sisters. And they will work alongside a set of mature, serious, and experienced pal reps and to deliver the goods. The future is not tomorrow. The future is now, brothers and sisters. Not like some political party. The average age of the United Workers' Party is 75 years old, brothers and sisters. The average age. They just elected a leader, Thompson Fontaine. And my good friend Lakia always tell me, don't give me pui. I never give me pui. I speak the truth and nothing but the truth, brothers and sisters. And the first picture I saw of Thompson Fontaine, they took a picture behind an iron gate, brothers and sisters. Behind a prison wall, which is where he's supposed to be in any case, brothers and sisters, together with Jason Fontaine. But brothers and sisters, I'm not going to say more about that right now. But let's look at, they had an opportunity. They had an opportunity to make a young man a leader, just so when Skerrit became leader. And because of their petty tribal partisan politics, they rejected the young man. A young man who the young people would be able to identify with. A young man who could inspire young people. They rejected him and went back to a guy called Thompson Fontaine. We all know about Thompson Fontaine, so I'm not going to promote him. But the first thing after becoming leader of the United Workers' Party that Thompson Fontaine offered the people of Dominica is civil disobedience. You know what that is? That is war, cool wash, fighting. That is what the United Workers' Party is offering in this period to the people of Dominica, civil disobedience. But what you expect from a bag of coal, ladies and gentlemen? Ça ou ka espérer hard on sec charbon, poussière, dust, brothers and sisters. What is the difference between Thompson Fontaine and Lennox Linton? What is the change between Thompson Fontaine and Lennox Linton? What else do you expect from the leadership of Thompson Fontaine that is different from Lennox Linton? Say, Membet. 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 That is what we have, brothers and sisters. But this Dominica Labour Party is giving you 10 youngsters, professionals, artists, engineers, teachers, business people, people involved in charity. That is what we're giving to you, the people of Portsmouth and the people of Dominica. We're giving you the future, and you have to rally with the future. And let us not fool ourselves in Portsmouth. We all have our differences. We all have different style. My style is not Rosalind's style. My style is not Caresa's style. Finella have her own style. She have her own personality. We were all created in the image and likeness of God, and we have to accept each other as we were created. Not all of us can speak the same language. Not all of us can scream and shout, but all of us have our gift that we inherited. And Finella is bringing to the Portsmouth constituency talent and our own God-given gift, brothers and sisters. And so, we cannot afford to sacrifice the future of Portsmouth and the future of Dominica because of some personality differences. We have our faults. None of us are perfect, brothers and sisters. He who has no sin, let him cast the first stone. And all of us are sinners. And we have all fallen short of the glory of God. And so we cannot cast judgment. Let us put Finella to the test, brothers and sisters. And this business about us,
Straight to the top, straight to the top, live go in. Straight to the top, straight to the top, straight to the top, live go in. Straight to the top, straight to the top, straight to the top, live go in.
And I have known I have known Finella for a very long time. Finella has made a great contribution, not only in teaching, but in sports and community work. People of Portsmouth, let us not allow ourselves to be distracted. Let us look at the bigger picture. This is not about individuals. This is about the Dominica Labour Party and Roosevelt Skerrit. And when we go to the polls, we're voting for the shoe, brothers and sisters. And let us trust the judgment of Roosevelt Skerrit. Roosevelt Skerrit is human, but he has never made a political mistake in governing this country. And many times we question his judgment, and his judgment have always proven to be correct, brothers and sisters. And this time, his judgment is correct when he decided to give you 10 new candidates, including Finella Wenham, brothers and sisters. So that foolishness about, oh, I doesn't see her. Oh, she never tell me hello since some 1980. So I say, shut. That is stupidness. Labour Party is what is important. The development of this country is what is important. And so I ask you to give Finella, give the Dominica Labour Party, give Roosevelt Skerrit your fullest and deepest support, brothers and sisters. Finella will be surrounded by a group of positive men and positive women. We work as a team. We work united, brothers and sisters. We're not like the other side. We're not like them. One set say they're boycotting. The other set say we're running. The next set say let's run independent. That if that is the way they're behaving in opposition, then how will they behave when they get to our treasury, brothers and sisters? How will they behave when they become government, brothers and sisters? And so we must not give them any excuse whatsoever to mash up what we spent 20 years in building for this country, brothers and sisters. You have sacrificed. Your parents have sacrificed. Your children have sacrificed to keep the Labour Party in power. And now is not the time to tinker with the development of Dominica. Now is not the time to ask questions about our leadership. Now is not the time to question ourselves, brothers and sisters, because we have been washed and baptized in the blood of the Dominica Labour Party. So to you, the people of Portsmouth, I want to signal to you, let us not split our votes. Portsmouth is Labour. Portsmouth will always be Labour. So let us all be counted as Labour, brothers and sisters. We need every single vote that we can get. We need it because we want to show them that Labour is still solid and we're solidly standing behind our leader, Roosevelt Skerrit, brothers and sisters. This is not about me. This is not about Ian. We will be there to steer the ship. We'll be there to give advice. But we have to give these young people an opportunity to make their mark and to make their contribution. So you, the people of Portsmouth, tonight is a deciding night for you to decide that you're going to descend on Portsmouth. You're going to go home to home and get the elderly, our seniors, to understand that this Labour Party is the same Labour Party of Edward Oliver Leblanc. It's the same Labour Party of Mike Douglas. It's the same Labour Party of Rosie Douglas. It's the same Labour Party of Pierre Charles. But like everything else, we have to grow and we have to move on. We can't be here all the days of our lives. All of us will pass one day and hand over to the younger generation. And politically, this is the time of the younger generation. This is the time for Finella to show us what she's made of. This is the time for Finella to oversee the development of Portsmouth. This is time for Finella to deliver the yacht marina. This is time for Finella to deliver the administrative building. This is the time for Finella to ensure the success of the Kempinski Hotel. This is the time for Finella to ensure that the 1 Mile Agricultural Station does what it has to do. This is the time for Finella to ensure that the Marriott Hotel is completed. Brothers and sisters, when these projects are continued, we will have no problems in Portsmouth. We'll be able to move from job to job. We'll be able to bring in people to work because there'll be too much work for the people of Portsmouth, brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, before I leave, there is no such thing as independent candidates. You don't have no independent candidate. Which government that's going to support you as an independent candidate? What can you bring to Portsmouth as an independent candidate? Where are you going to get the money from to build Portsmouth as an independent candidate? That is a farce. That is a joke. It cannot happen. And the people of Portsmouth should not be fooled by this independent stupidness. If you have your problem, reconcile your problem. If you have your problem, call Ian and talk to Ian. Call me and talk to me. Call Scarrett and talk to Scarrett. But you cannot want to punish a whole tongue because of some personal problem that you have, brothers and sisters.
The party shall not be
So, the choice is clear. In fact, there is no choice. There is only one political party contesting this election in Portsmouth, and that is the Dominica Labour Party. There is only one political leader contesting the tongue of Portsmouth, and that is Roosevelt Scarrett. There is only one person that has a party, a structure, an infrastructure behind her in this election is Finella Welland, brothers and sisters. So let us bury our differences. You can still withdraw. IP withdraw from Collier, from St. Joseph. The same IP that told people he will pay their money, their deposit, for them to run independent. He decided to run independent. He withdrew because he realized that there was no room for independent candidates in this election. 2 Kalinagos, 2 UWP went up in the Kalinago territory. 1 withdraw. And many more want to withdraw. But they cannot. Labor. So one by one, those independent candidates are withdrawing from the race because they realize the only party that can move this country, the only party that has the support of the Dominican people is the Dominica Labour Party. And that's a fact. So, to the people of Portsmouth, well, we don't have election in Cottage because we had no opponent. So that is why you will see our people from Cottage are going all over the country supporting the candidates. They go to Wesley, they go to Pearbush, they go to Roseau, they go to Kalinago territory because our seat is won already.
The party shall not be moved.
And you, the people of Portsmouth, you have a second opportunity. You missed the first opportunity because there should be no damn other candidate in Portsmouth. It's your fault. It's your fault. Why you allow another person to put their name on the ballot box? You made a mistake because you were out there talking about who good, who not good, who you want, who you don't want. This is not about you. It's about the people of Dominica. It's about the Dominica Labour Party. But you have an opportunity to make up for that error that you made. You have an opportunity to fix it. And you can only fix it on election day by saying that you are sorry. by saying that you regret your decision to allow anybody else in the race. You have to say that Finella is the only candidate. And you have to come out and vote in full force to ensure that Finella and the Dominica Labour Party win this Portsmouth seat handsomely, brothers and sisters. The responsibility is yours. One man can take a horse to the well, but 20 cannot make it drink. I can advise you based on my experience. I can advise you based on my knowledge, but I cannot force you. The decision is yours to make. And wake up on the 7th and see that it on the 6th, on the 7th, and hear that the Dominica Labour Party cannot take the Portsmouth seat. You will not be able to live with yourself, brothers and sisters. The choice is yours. The choice is clear. You have an opportunity to demonstrate that Finella Williams is the candidate of choice for the Dominica Labour Party. Finella is the candidate of choice for Roosevelt Skerrit. Finella is a candidate of choice for the people of Portsmouth and the Portsmouth constituency. May God bless you. May God bless our leader. May God bless our parliamentarians. May God bless our new candidates. But more importantly, may God bless Finella Wenham and give her victory at the polls on December 6th. Thank you very much. God bless you. Do the right thing. There is no choice. Labour is still the best choice. Thank you very much.